Right. Можно рассказывать?
Да, да, можно.
Любой истории.
Ну, любую давай.
Очень интересно. Okay.
Но про
No, this is
совместность.
about I'll speak in English. This is about a witch. Yeah. In Scotland, you know, and all over the world, you know, we've many problems with witches. Yeah. Witchcraft. It could be anywhere. It's you know, it could destabilize society, and some people regard it as a threat, a danger, and well, usually, of course, that's how some people see it. Yeah, and in Scotland, a lot of innocent people, practically all of them, have been murdered because they thought they were witches. Everywhere I go in Scotland, practically, even from my hometown, there's maybe a pond or a lake or a memorial related to a story about some witch that was executed, you know, Casneil, or drowned, yeah. And a lot of these stories we don't know. It's not on the records, yeah. They've not recorded this. They say, well, we don't have any historical records. No historical facts, no problem. You know, so it didn't happen in some places. Yeah, it's the old story. No dead body, no problem. Yes. Anyway, I won't go into detail. Yeah, just one story. I think it's a true story. Maybe not. You decide. You know, once upon a time there was a farmer and his young daughter, and they're walking on a plot of land, yeah, looking after it. On a mountain very high in the island of Skye. A very beautiful scenery, yeah. It's looking over all these islands, yeah. And something strange happened, yeah. The man saw this big ship sailing in the sea, yeah. And then suddenly a storm broke out and the ship sank, foundered quickly. So, and the farmer said to his young daughter, "Oh my God, that's terrible, yeah? Did you see that? Wonder what happened? What caused this catastrophe?" And the young daughter proudly said, "I did that." "You what?" said the farmer. "I did it." And said, well, "Who taught you to do a horrible thing like that, you know, to sink a ship and drown a crew?" Said, "Oh, my mother taught me to do that." Yeah? She said, you know, proudly. Yeah. And do you know what the farmer did? Угади, yeah, I guess what he did.
Пошел убил ее мать.
Well, yes, I think you've got the right idea.
Oh,
This is what happened. First he picked up a spade and went and hit his daughter, murdered the daughter with a spade. Then he went home and murdered his wife. And he thought it was justice. So the storyteller says, at this time in Skye, it was a terrible time for witches. Yeah, basically. So that's how the story ends. Yeah, is it? So what? And maybe as a quick other story I want to say. We have a mystery in Scotland. It's a town of Dunning in Scotland. It's a big memorial to a witch that's died called Maggie Walls.
Where is it?
Maggie Wall, Dunning. It's near Stirling. A small town of Dunning. It's Maggie Walls, burnt as a witch, 1657. And every year they paint this on this piece of stone. Maggie Walls, murdered as a witch. But there's no, people put flowers there. Burnt as a witch. Burnt, I should say. nobody knows any Maggie Walls. There's no historical facts about this Maggie Walls in any of the records, the historical records, the local council. And so what could have happened, yeah? And then the only source of information that says identifies Maggie Walls is from the Saganki, the gypsies, the travellers. They say, Maggie Walls, we know who she is. She was a traveller. She was a Saganka. Yeah? And she helped people with medicine, folk medicine. And fanatical Protestants of the Reformation came. They thought this woman was an evil witch, and they chased her, and they murdered her, executed her, you know. Basically, there's no records of the gypsies remember this, yeah. So it's all kinds of legends and stories about witches, and a lot of history we don't know, yeah. We don't know. Anyway, blah 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 blah. I don't waffle anymore.
Thank you. I wonder why this memorial is in such teeny city town. Not
A memorial in such a small town. I don't know. It must have affected people so much. Maybe the gypsies put this up. Maybe they thought this is a special woman and they wanted to remind. There's another story by a gypsy storyteller that say this woman had a cat, a black cat, and they never found this cat. And this cat still lives on in the 20th century, and it comes to warn other gypsies if they have a disaster. Say if a gypsy's in a tent, there's going to be a fire in the forest. Suddenly this cat runs to the gypsies, and if they see this black cat run between their legs or just run up to them, it's an omen, a sign, danger.
It's the same thing.
Leave, get your tent, and maybe some Russian villages you have this as well, or in other countries as well. So people said that's Maggie Wall's cat. It's come to warn people, and I only found out that was the only bit of information you could get from a famous Scots storyteller. Yeah, it's Smith, Jesse Smith, that sheds light on it. Everyone says, there's no Maggie Walls. It doesn't exist. She's a symbol, just a symbol. She represents all the witches. My personal view is I think Maggie Walls is a real person, a real character. I think I'd accept the gypsy, the traveller's view.
Ну или да, или коллективный какой-то сборный персонаж.
Also, why not both? Yeah.
Вообще интересно, к первой истории Стивена я про совместность думаю, что, это ж реально, мужья убивали своих жен, там, не знаю, сыновья убивали дочерей, и это отрицательная сторона совместности в каком-то смысле, что вот эта идея, она была разделена этими людьми.
Это ксенофобия.
Да.
Темная сторона силы, я бы
Да,
сказал.
типа того.
Еще по